Did you ever see his thing where he was someone scanned a copy of the Millwall fanzine from like 1990 or 1995 or some shit like that, where it was an interview with Paul Hartley? Did you ever see that?
Mm-mm.
It was like, tell us about yourself, and it was actually quite bold a move because obviously Millwall are massive skinhead bigots, so they're like, tell like what team do you support? And he's like Celtic, and they were just asking him all. It was like one of these unofficial fanzines, like a kind of not the view or whatever, and they said it was just like stupid questions like, what animal would you be if you could be an animal? And he said seagull, and he said why? And he goes, so I could fly over Ibrox and shit on them. So I loved it. He is a big time Tim. So I've got a lot of time for Paul Hartley. I like the guy. I thought he'd done a shift with us as well. So
Yeah.
good.
All right. So point number 3. You ready?
Aye, on you go.
We have to address this because you made the comment last time that I am totally anti Effie Ambrose, but when he came on, Twitter erupted.
The guy is a midden of a football player. Oh dear, he's a bomb scare. Like he's taking bomb scare to a new level, isn't he?
Oh, Jesus Christ. He had me screaming at the TV in the first 30 seconds.
He passed across the face of his own goal.
Again,
No,
okay.
don't do that. Don't ever do
as soon
that.
as his head turned to the left to go look at the pass, I'm screaming, no, no. And he did it anyway.
Aye, Christ in a bite, man. I've just got that mental image of the bomb technician thing still in my head.
I have to find that. I went to go look for it so I could retweet it out. It was absolutely brilliant. I'll put it this way. I'm going to give you some insight that I have. And I know somebody who is a high level coach, knows a little bit about what's going on over on the other side of the pond from us. And basically they're saying what's happened is that he's lost basically all confidence.
I was about to say that. He does look like a player that's lost all confidence.
He is. I mean, I'm sure that, he's lost so much confidence. I'm sure that when he wipes his ass, he may think he forgot to put toilet paper on his hand. Really. He's got no confidence, and there's none there. I'm afraid that he walks across the street. He may turn into OCD.
Here's a question. Quick jog on in Yaldi. A lot of people would say keep Ambrose as a backup, etc., etc. But see if a player's lost all confidence in himself,
Doggone.
and he's no. Here's the idea: see Christmas, put him out on loan to any team that wants him for the rest of the year, and just if we need a backup centre half, just let one of the kids play. To be quite honest with you. Jog on Yaldi.
Yeah, Yaldi. Gotta go.
Yeah,
Gotta go.
I feel bad for the guy because I quite like him as a guy. I think he seems like a happy, good character and all that. And I hear he's a really big family man and like good ambassador for the club, etc. And apparently he's got a good wee charity set up in Nigeria. So good guy. Just I think when a player loses confidence.
You asked a question last week. You asked a question like, what is one of the bottom 5 for me was him being in the team, and then you said, are you against him making a living? No, I have no problem with him making a living. I just want him to be. I want him to play the role of Dirk Boerichter.
Who?
Dirk Boerichter. I want him to play the Nigerian Dirk Boerichter. I want him to get paid, and I want him to get paid and not be seen.
No, I think we'd put the boy out on loan. I think there'd be a championship team that would probably take him on loan for the rest of the year. I think Lenny might take him at Bolton, So,
yeah, there you go.
So, no, wish him the best luck. But if a player's lost confidence, it's like we're talking about Zaluskas being a backup. Having a backup that you don't have confidence in is useless. they're absolutely of no use to you.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point earlier. Stop giving shit to Zaluska. Look at this. Look, this is something we need to handle. So, Hey, listen, by the way, those are our 3 points on Dundee match. Real quick, jog on Yaldi, Guidetti's goal celebration.
I was straight on that. That was appalling. What was he doing? It looked like looked like somebody failing at doing yoga moves. No idea what's going on. Like you know what I was glad about, right? I was going to get my mate Morgan, who's a Canadian guy he's just getting into soccer, and he's like, I have a Chelsea shirt and whatever, but he wants to come and watch Celtic, and I think he's going to turn into a Celtic fan because he's a really switched on guy. It's into his history and all that sort of thing. So I think he will take on Celtic, and that was a game I was going to get him down to watch. And I think like if I was with a non-football fan there, and then he saw that goal celebration, I'd be cringing. You know what I mean? It was embarrassing. So, great player, suspect celebrations from Guidetti. What happened? Can he not just do his wee heart thing that he normally does?
I don't know. I don't know.
Am I missing something? Is there something to get there? Is it a joke or?
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's not a yeah."
Right, yeah, that can jog on.
Yeah,
terrible celebration.
Yeah, no, that's got to go. So anyway, so that leads us to our next point, which is going to be one of my favorite things. If we're going to talk about FA, then we have to do this. I had to come up with this. So I wanted to ask you because obviously we're not going to be in the business of talking about games as much, even though we just talked about it for an hour. What I wanted to do was ask you. You ready?
Right.
I wanted you to rank in the honor of Effing Ambrose the top 10 worst offenders we've had in the last 3 years.
In the last 3 years? Well, have we even had 10 centre halves?
Well, I have my list. Why don't we just give you my list?
Right, you jog my memory and tell me who we've got, and I'll tell you who's the worst.
Number 1 was Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Ambrose. Number 3. Number 3, Effie Ambrose. Number 4. No. I'm only kidding.
I'm actually going to challenge you. I think that Chadu Ray was.
Oh wait! Stop! I have. I'm going to give you my top 10.
All right.
Actually, let's do this instead. I'm going to give you 10 names and let's rank them.
Okay.
All right. So Ambrose. He automatically gets number 1.
Okay.
That's how it is. Dan Mastrojevic.
Okay.
The Mr. Handball in a Scottish Cup final when no one's near him, up a goal, 5 minutes left. Fucking idiot. Chaduri was not what I have there. Badr El Kaduri.
Oh yeah.
He did score against the Huns. Okay. Glenn Louvens. Thomas Ragna, who couldn't get off who spent more time sitting next to James Forrest.
Okay.
Yes. He's been replaced in our side by said what's his face? Shit. He's been replaced on the training table with our boy from the Netherlands. What's his name?
Bo Richter.
Bo Richter, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't pronounce it. Jos Hoijveld.
Oh.
I feel bad for the Twardzik kid, but I had to put him on there for the way he played against Inverness Kelly Thistle. It was just horrible. Ready?
Yeah.
Andre Blackman.
Yeah, the guy from...
Yeah, from Arsenal. The left winger. Left back.
Was it not actually from like MK Dons we got him?
A couple different places. And Andres Hinkle.
Hinkle? See, I didn't think Hinkle was that bad. My mate Dave really loves Hinkle. He thought he was a great right back. Didn't personally see much of it, but... Alright, so I've got to rank them. Well, I'll just go through and give a quick assessment to each player, and then I'll tell you who I think the worst is. So, Andre Blackman was just nowhere near Celtic class and was kind of a youth player. He's just like pretty much a 0 out of 10. Then you've got like Twardzik. I don't think he's the worst defender in the world. Yet again, a youth player that never really made it.
And agree. And with this, he did play left back for us there, or right back. I forget which one it was, but he was out of position.
Kaduri only played for about 3 months for us and played against the Huns. Got a goal. He wasn't playing in a particularly strong team, to be honest with you, and just too hard to assess like where he was. Hinkle, I'm going to take out of that because I don't think he was I don't think he was a bad player for us at all. So you've got Ambrose, Mistorovic, Cha, Louvens, Rogney, and Hoijveld. Rogney, I thought, was actually okay. He was just injured all the time. Where I remember he played one game against the Huns and he showed like a lot of patience on the ball for a young player. Where
you remember that game? Remember that one? Remember Forster gets a red card at the beginning of that game?
Yeah, I can't really remember much about it, but like I remember that numerous centre halves before that, where like McManus and Caldwell used to just punt the ball to the field, and just like no nonsense, where he was the guy that would take a touch and try and pass the football and had a lot of patience, and he wouldn't dive into challenges, he'd stay on his feet. So I always thought he had a little bit of potential, but he was just so injured all the time that it just didn't really work out for him. So I take him out of it as well. I thought that he was just someone that didn't really work out.
There you go.
So you've got Leuven's, Højbjerg, Cha, Mastorovic, right? Ambrose we've spoke about enough. I think he's pretty poor, but probably one of the better ones out of that lot. I think that Cha was a stopgap player and Mastorovic was a stopgap player. We got them both for nothing. Mastorovic was pretty terrible, but played okay in a couple of games. Chadure was a striker that got moved to right midfield, then got moved to right back. He couldn't defend at all. I think, what was it, the own goal or near enough own goal he scored against, was it Rennes?
Rennes, yes. And then he just looked at Forster and just laughed.
Yeah. Leuven's was those players where I always remember Celtic Underground saying that he was great for 8 to 8 minutes of every game, and then for 2 minutes he just kind of switched off. I think he was kind of, we did pay a couple of million for him, but he was kind of just a stopgap. I don't think he was absolutely horrible, terrible. He just wasn't that good. If you had Glenn Leuven's in the team today, I'd play him above Ambrose. So I'll take him out of it. So it's down to Josh Højbjerg, Cha, Mastorovic, really. Josh Højbjerg, I went to see Celtic 11 versus Partick Thistle. I think Izzy and Højbjerg were the only starting 11 Celtic players there, and the rest of it was just like young. Oh, Rasmussen played as well in that game.
Yeah.
And my points for that game were Rasmussen's the worst football player I've ever seen in my life. He really was appalling. He was worse than a bag of sand. We'd have been better playing with 10 men than having him. He was that bad against Partick Thistle. And he didn't even stand out above any youth player. He looked the worst player on the field. And Højbjerg lasted 14 minutes exactly and then got stretchered off. And he's just an absolute bag of shite. Whereas Højbjerg went on to Southampton and played well with them and ended up playing in the Premiership.
Yeah.
So
He's still there. I believe he's still there.
So I think Højbjerg was pretty bad. I think Mastorovic was a little bit better than Cha. I think Cha was the worst defender that we had.
So for a worst three defenders, you'd be Cha,
Højbjerg, and Mastorovic. Whereas Mastorovic was more of a liability because he was in the centre of the park, whereas Cha was a right back. So it's actually okay for your right back to be less of a defender, where I don't think Izzy's a very particularly strong defender, but he gets forward quite a lot. So I'd had a wee soft spot for Cha because he was one of those guys where he really, really worked hard. So I think probably the worst overall player out of those three for us was Højbjerg, because he just achieved nothing for us and was an absolute liability. So probably him, and then I'd say Højbjerg's the worst, then Mastorovic, then Cha. There we go. That's my
right. So there you go. Mastorovic. So you got Højbjerg, Mastorovic, and then Cha. Okay, and you don't put Ambrose in the top three.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So I had to ask, who was better for Celtic? And I tweeted it out the other day.
I saw this. I saw you done this.
We did our own Twitter version of Jog Hunter Yaldi, or however you want to put it, right? So favorite, who was better for Celtic, Mastorovic or Efe? I had favorite for Big Dan, retweet for Efe, and it came out like this.
Can I make the point before we go any further? Asking the Celtic Twitter universe if they do you want to slag off Efe Ambrose is like going up to a fat person at a Weight Watchers convention saying, "Do you want a donut?" The guy is a fucking punching bag for everybody, man.
Yeah, listen. I know he's playing the part of the piñata. I get that, but anyway, so this is how it worked out. I got three interesting answers that ranged between C, all of the above, to C, letter C, like none of the above. C, yes, and C, the other one was mute because I believe both of them sucked ass. After that, I got no retweets and 15 favorites. Interesting. So that was our version of our online Jog on Reality. So
wait, who was the
winner? The winner who was better for Celtic was Big Dan.
Big Dan. I think it's probably because if Big Dan was still playing for Celtic and Ambrose had left, people would say Ambrose is better. I think it's just that he's more fresh in the memory.
What's happened? What's happened to Efe? Tell me. I
think he's always been a bit of a nightmare.
Jesus Christ! I I want the guy to do well. I want him to do well. I don't want. Listen, if he's
You know what
gonna be
annoys
sitting
me?
on the fucking bench,
Could it not have been Could it not have been Effie Ambrose that got homesick and wanted to go home, and Kelvin Wilson was really happy in Glasgow? Because